Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, I am talking about all the things your aura does to protect you, accommodate your growth, shift and shield you. And I'm going to get a little specific about it. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Well, I think we definitely need this episode.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
No matter where I go, whether I go to the post office, the YMCA for my workout, people are always asking me this.
Oh, are they?
They just come right up to me. They're like,
oh, really?
Oh, hey, Scotty.
Sure.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, what does it mean when MM says that I borrowed a color or I'm wearing a shield? But actually, in all seriousness, I do get this a lot. People do ask, what's the difference between, am I inauthentic or am I just borrowing a color? Or did I just put up a shield? And, I try my best. I do try my best to explain it, but I can't really explain it as well as you can. And, I kind of get the differences between them, but even myself, I'm not 100% sure the differences between like a shield or wearing or I don't know what other terms you use for it, but you'll help us out with that. Right.
I think what happens is how do I put it? I think because I read so many people, and I say this to you, like if you have a reading with me, you've probably heard me say this. I have to teach auras. So teaching them makes them more sometimes general. I have to generalize things. But everybody's different. And some of you, the more people I read, do these things like you'll borrow a color. And it's not exactly an authentic color, which I'm going to explain all this. Or I'll see rips and tears in your aura. Or I'll see you wearing a color for a shield in some pictures and some it's gone. So I see all these different things and they're really just, for me, terms that reflect the vibe I'm picking up. And the reason behind the vibe. So, I'm going to get into that a lot more specific pretty soon.
Okay, good. Because I think that'll stop a lot of the panic. Because sometimes people start to panic and they think, it's inauthentic. Like, how do I shake it?
Your aura is alive. It has to work with you.
Okay.
It has to work with you.
All right.
Yes.
So I think a lot of blues and indigos are going to feel better after this. Knowing that, they're not inauthentic or whatever or something like that. All right. But before we get into that, it is the biggest announcement of the year time.
It is. It's true.
Every year, people wait for this.
Yes.
All of the listeners on the edge of their seat right now, they want to know this announcement.
Okay.
And here's the announcement. It is the Christmas gift exchange idea for this year.
Oh, my gosh,
okay,
you guys.
So every year we do this.
2022.
Take it away. Tell them what we do.
All right. So,
if you're a new listener.
we've done this way before this podcast.
Yes, way before.
Scott and I have been together quite a while. And we figured a long time ago, we figured out that it's not fun to give each other regular gifts. Okay. Like, I mostly him because I'm fine with any gift. Like, I'm a very wonderful receiver. You give me anything, I love it immediately. But he's a little annoying. So, like, we decided, you know what? Let's make this more fun. Instead of finding you some sweater you're going to want to return or me something I'm like, oh my God, you spent too much money or whatever. Let's have this fun time. So years ago, we came up with the Impersonal Gift and it was $25. That was our budget.
Right.
And we had to give each other a gift that was completely impersonal. And then we opened it up on Christmas. And we would decide, and, whoever's around, like the kids would decide, like, who won, mommy or daddy? Like, who won?
Right. And, it started out one year as just a thing. And just over the years, it just grew into this, like amazing thing. The kids look forward to it.
Yeah, everybody looks forward to it.
We love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
So every year we try to come up with something new.
Yeah, because we did the impersonal gift for a long time. Yeah. What happened was I kept winning.
Yes.
Because you didn't understand, like, impersonal gifts mean if you're a human, you'll enjoy it. Like, one year I got you a Dunkin' Donuts gift card and I won.
Right. So I was I had like a 3-year losing streak or 4-year losing streak.
So we had to change the themes, and that's fine.
And then I actually had won a couple years in a row. And then you won last year. Last year's was 15 minutes in a Walgreens.
It was, I think, the 23rd. Because the whole thing was to feel very pressed for time.
Yeah, you had to do it close to Christmas.
And we were in a Walgreens parking lot, and Scott ran in, and I timed him, and then I ran in, and he timed me. And it's whatever you could get in 15 minutes. Right. And it had to be like, you had to try. I won.
Yeah.
Because you all
won.
decided.
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
On Christmas, I put up the pictures, and then you guys decide.
All right. So you currently have the title.
I do.
You do.
And
okay.
I plan to keep it. But this year, you came up. We were discussing 2 nights ago. We're like, what are we going to do this year? We should really think. And you came up with it. So what is it?
So after a huge brainstorming session.
Yes.
Because if you say brainstorming, the other one cannot get mad at the other person. Because there were some doozy ideas that came out.
Relationship
Mostly
advice.
from the MM side. My ideas were all really good. But
I have great ideas.
So this is what we came up. And I also just want to add before I tell the idea. I know everyone's on the edge of their seat. Well, except for like half the audience that turned it off. But last year, a lot of people played it. So we got so many people that said, hey, I'm going to do that with my significant other.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that with my sister, my brother, or whatever.
Yeah, it's $25 limit.
Yeah.
And you can play too.
Yeah, so a lot of people play the last couple of years, people have been playing.
It's really fun.
And it's great.
Then you don't spend a lot of money, but like the thought, it's a lot of laughs on Christmas morning. Okay.
All right. So, the first thing here that has changed is the limit this year is $30. There's been some insane inflation going on.
Crazy
if you haven't noticed. There's crazy inflation, so we did decide to raise it from 25 to 30.
All right, we get to go up to 30 plus tax.
So it's 30 plus tax. So you can buy something for $29.99. All
right,
that gets you into that price point.
And
that's good for this game.
That's important because you got to keep the receipt. I mean, and a tiebreaker.
I don't think we've ever. No one's ever looked for because that would be like a technicality win, and we haven't had to go there yet.
Okay,
because if something was like very close,
right?
We might have to. So keep your receipts.
Okay, keep receipts.
Yeah,
okay.
Just to make sure so you don't lose because it was like $33 that you lost. 33. Okay, angel number. All right. So this year I came up with the idea is 2 parts to this gift. Mm-hmm. Okay. The first part is it has to be a gift that you would receive in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first part.
So let me explain that.
Yes.
If you were a protagonist in a Hallmark movie.
Okay.
A Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Christmas
movie. It has to be a Hallmark Christmas movie or holiday movie. I don't know. What gift would you get?
Right.
All right. Like now think about all the Hallmark movies you've seen. Maybe it's a pocket watch. Maybe it's a snow globe.
Sure.
But it has some sort I don't know.
Okay.
No, you were going to get me a snow globe?
Yeah,
I was going to get you a snow globe.
I was going
to get you a snow globe.
That was my idea.
That was my idea.
I was going to go to the Hallmark store and get a snow globe.
I was going to get you a snow globe with a Santa in it.
I got flashbacks from when we both got ourselves the fruit cakes.
Oh, that was a couple of years ago.
Aunt, what your great aunt would give you.
All right. But anyways, back it up. But what's the second part, Scott?
Okay. So that's the first part of the gift. That's that's going to cost you money. The second part of the gift is you have to write a 1-paragraph synopsis. Mm-hmm. It could be like a half page, 3/4 of a page. We don't want a book here, but telling the story and then how that gift fits into the story.
So could be the description of the movie as it is on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, but this is your movie.
Right, I know.
Right, yeah.
Like a young woman comes to Christmastown after being laid over on her flight from the busy city.
Yeah.
She runs into Mr. Town.
Right. So that's the second part.
Yeah, so you have to have a whole kind of couple 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Kind of back so that it makes sense whatever the gift is and fits in with the gift.
Right. So it's a
little complicated.
It's a little complicated this year. It's a 2-part thing.
Yeah.
We're going to be judged on the synopsis.
Right.
And also the gift.
So if you're giving some sort of ornament or something, it has to make sense what it is based on your story that comes with it.
Yes, correct. All right,
the story could be in first person, third person, second person.
Yeah, I was going to do it like a trailer. I think I'm going to do mine like a trailer for the show.
I might make mine like a video.
Okay. No, it has to be written.
Oh, it has to be written?
A TikTok. No, it can't be a TikTok.
Oh, no, I was just going to make it a video and make the kids star or something.
No, it has to be written.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it has to be written.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has to be written. Because you have to put it in a card and give it to the person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So play at home if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about this going up to Christmas. This is a big thing for us. It is. Our lives are, this is huge in our lives. There's nothing bigger than this. This is just as big as it gets.
We get really excited about this, but I'm glad we fleshed out the snow globe thing because that would have been disappointing.
Yeah, this is as big as it gets. Other than yesterday when we went out to dinner and I got a free dessert because the owner of the store thought I was a huge influencer.
No, none of that happened.
That's true. What happened
was we went out to eat.
Yeah.
with the children.
Yes.
And we went to a new place.
Yeah.
And the waiter said, "Is this your first time here?"
Sure.
And you said, "Yes, it's our first time here."
Yeah.
And then at the end, the manager came over out of the blue and said, "Hey, I heard it's your first time here. I'd like to give you this dessert for the table."
No, because...
And nobody mentioned anything about you being an influencer, Scott.
No, that's because...
But the kids made fun of you for it. Yeah.
That's because of the way your chair was sitting. See, you were sitting behind everybody. So your back was to the room. Mm-hmm. I had the frontal view, which is what I always take when I go to when I always go to the restaurant.
Okay.
So I'm facing the front.
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw the staff. I had my Know Your Order shirt on, and they were looking and like smiling at me a lot. And I saw one of them go over to the manager, and that's how I know I got it, because I was an influencer.
When I was a kid, I used to hate going over to people's houses where the dad would do jokes. And I married somebody like that. I'm just saying, like, I used to hate going over to the houses when a dad would be like, no, and like he doubled down on the joke. And I'm like, okay, all right. And now I married that person.
I truly believe that $9 dessert was because I was an influencer. Okay. All right. We got a couple ads, and then you're going to do your...
Nothing to do with anything.
Then you're going to do your speech.
I know how hard it is to find clean skincare that actually works. Well, Osea is a California-based skincare and body care brand that has been making clean, vegan, and cruelty-free skincare products for over 25 years. They use seaweed as their hero ingredient because it's a nutrient-rich superfood with endless benefits, including anti-aging and moisturization. Osea products are clinically proven to work, and they're climate neutral certified. I've been using Osea's Ondaria Lj Body Butter, and let me tell you, it is luxurious. As the seasons change, your skin changes, and their Ondaria Lj Body Butter is perfect for dry skin. I like to put it on my dry spots and just let it soak in, and I've noticed a huge difference. My skin feels amazing using it, and I just feel good in general when I take care of my skin the way I can with Osea's products. Their Ondaria Lj Body Oil, it took TikTok by storm. It literally makes you sparkle and glow. You have to try it. But now it's available in this luxurious body butter with nutrient-rich seaweed, ceramides, and whipped shea butter. Osea's Ondaria Body Butter transforms dry, crepey skin to feel smooth, soft, and supple. 72 hours of proven hydration, perfect for anyone who's busy or lazy, no judgment. Its buttery rich texture just sinks into your skin instantly and feels fantastic. Plus, it has this uplifting citrusy scent that smells like you're on vacation. It's the perfect addition to your fall skincare routine. For clean body care that gives you facial skincare level results, you've got to try Osea. And right now we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with promo code KYA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. You're going to want it all. Go to Osea, OSEA, Malibu.com, promo code KYA. After the birth of my second daughter, I experienced some hair loss. And since then, I have been serious about prioritizing the health of my hair and scalp. Way's new products have given me an easy and effective go-to hair and scalp health routine. Hair care, it's more than just about styling your hair. A daily hair and scalp health regimen can make a huge difference. Way's new scalp serum and their Thick and Full supplements are a complete solution for promoting the appearance of thicker, fuller, healthier hair. I've been doing both the serum and the supplements. And since using both of these things, before, I was always worried about my hair falling out. It would come out, it would shed. And I've just noticed since using them, my hair feels thicker and fuller, and it has the appearance of less shedding. And I work it into my daily routine, no problem. I take the pills every morning, and at night I like to use the serum. Consistency is really key here. Well, the Thick and Full supplements are vegan, once-a-day supplements with zero flavor that support thicker, fuller, healthier hair. They reduce the appearance of shedding, and they support hair strength. They improve your overall hair health, and they contain beauty-boosting ingredients such as biotin and pea shoot extract that promote those thicker, fuller strands. Only vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty free ingredients are included. So grow all the way with Ouai's scalp serum and thick and full supplements. Go to TheOuai, TheOuai.com and use code AURA to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's 15% off your entire order at TheOuai, TheOuai.com, code AURA. I realize I've been using some vocabulary to talk about auras and not in-depth explaining it. I think this is because when I do readings, it's not just what I see, it's what I feel. And it's something that I'm glad you all remind me to explain myself, because all these things you feel too, and all these things you can do too. It's just easier to do it when you kind of understand what you're feeling. So I'm going to break down some of that vocab. Borrowing, shielding, absorbing, rips, and wearing too much and things like that. But first, let's do a quick aura refresher. Aura refresher. Okay. So you're listening to the podcast, know your aura, you understand. An aura is your energy signature. It is the energy around you, a unique blueprint, your energetic blueprint of who you are and what motivates you and your personality, all those things. I feel like it's a filter. It's like your filter in this world. We're all dropped in this reality. We're all dropped on this earth plane, but we all experience it differently. And your aura has a lot to do with how you experience it. I truly feel it's unique to this lifetime, meaning when you reincarnate, you get a new aura. So I really feel like we can experience Earth with this earthly lifetime with a certain aura color, an aura color combo. And then in another one or previous ones, they were different, because auras really teach you something, and living in that perspective gives you a whole different experience than another one. Also, your aura has strengths and it has weaknesses. So any aura color you are, and if you've been listening to the podcast, you know this, there are certain things that suit you and certain things that don't. And the things that, I guess, perceived weaknesses, I like that better. Every aura color has its perceived weaknesses, and these are the things that we hide or we put away. And understanding what your perceived weaknesses are, maybe you feel like you're too sensitive, or you're too shy, or you're too loud, or you overtake the energy in a room, or you're always the one being the leader, whatever your thing is that you're like, I hate that about myself. You have to kind of see it, understand it, love up on it. And that is a part of your aura that, even if you don't like how it's working for you now, the more awareness and mindfulness you give it, the more you can make it work for you. So why do we care about auras? All right. So when I get to do a reading, when I get to, without knowing anybody or anything, and I just see your picture, it's kind of like, you're this way, you're this way, it's like a validation. It's like, hey, Spirit's seeing you. You're not alone here. Like, they see how you operate. You are seen very deeply. And doing this for so many years, doing aura readings and reading people and mediumship readings and all that for so many years, what I wanted to do then is, man, I want to empower you to validate yourself. And that's been my goal for this podcast and our community, the MMSF. I want you to learn how to validate yourself, because within you, there is a portal to validation, and that's your connection to self and spirit, because it's already in you. So my big thing is, like, what are the tools I can show you that you have so that you can do this for you? And then it becomes bigger than auras, because energy, I guess I see colors around people. That's fun, and you're all aura explainers and you can do it, and that's fun. But what it's really about is vibes and energy and just your abilities to see things differently with an awakened awareness. And so that's why I care. That's why I care about auras, because that's a pathway to you validating yourself. What's interesting about auras is when I see an aura around somebody, it's kind of like a little scientific, I guess. If let's say you went to, archaeology, right? Like, archaeologists dig up a site, and based on where things are placed, they can be like, oh, they must have had this family structure because this is placed in these ways, or this must have been important to them because they put that at this part of the house. And, So because how things are placed, you can see deeper. You can see an overall thing. And that's when I see your aura, that's what I'm talking about today. And I see how it's placed around you with any rips or tears, or there's too much, or there's shielding, or you're borrowing, or you're absorbing. Okay. When I can see how you've been placing it around you, what happens is it tells me even more about you, what you hold dear, and what you need to work on, and what you need to be more confident about in yourself. How we present our energy, our vibe, which everyone feels, how you present it, it's important. It's important to understand how you're presenting yourself because it affects you. And like it or not, this world responds to vibes. And you can be low, or you can be high, or you can be wherever you're at least understand where you're at. And that's why I feel like this is important too. So it's a more self-awareness where you're at, how you're feeling, what your vibe you're projecting is. And here's the deal, and I always say this, you don't have to see auras to read them. They all have vibes. Okay, so I talk about the color vibes, but today I'm talking about the placement. So what does it feel like if it's too much? What does it feel like if it's, if you're borrowing one versus wearing it? All right. So your energy also reflects growth. It reflects you. Your aura, it's usually the same colors, but you might bring in stuff, different colors, borrow some vibes for different parts of your life. You might push some aside for different times in your life. Kind of reflects where you're at. And I really love how our energy, it moves to protect us. And it changes to accommodate us. And the one thing that can interact with it is our ego. So your aura is really like a projection of your soul and your soul's identity. Okay. But your ego can come in and hijack it. And that's where we have to pay attention to. Now, the ego is the part of you. It's the human part of you. It doesn't exist on the other side. It's the human part of you that wants things to stay exactly how they are because, growth means, danger and staying where you are, stagnancy means survival. So the ego has a lovely purpose and we love our egos. I always say that you love your ego. You just have to be mindful of it because it can come in and mess with your aura. And that brings me to my first one. When your aura is too much. So sometimes I'll see this. I'll say, oh, you get too much blue. There's too much red in there, aura. Too much yellow. Too much. When your aura is too much of one of your colors, what happens is you have a limited perspective. So this is when your ego comes in and it hijacks that part of your aura. So let's say you're yellow indigo, right? And you're indigo because indigos are such very deep feeling empaths and they have a really hard time being in social situations. If you don't have the skills to cope with your indigo-ness, it can be very difficult for you to use it effectively. So your ego, oh, I see that. And we don't want to learn more about ourselves. So we're just going to hijack the yellow and we're going to make it too much on you. And then what happens is you have too much of one perspective or too much of one energy. How does it feel to wear too much? So each color has its own kind of vibe when you wear too much, like too much red. It's in a nutshell, it's too much of probably the the high voltage parts of that aura color. So too much red is super assertive, super aggressive, really intense. That's what it feels like. Too much blue, you can feel like a victim. Oh my God, everyone's after me. I'm drowning in my life. This is like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I'm completely without options. I'm stuck. I'm sad. Too much indigo. This is just now it's like the blue. And then you also stop talking to everybody. So too much indigo is like all that, like I just said about blue. And also you lose your phone and people are like, are you okay? Like you'll get house visits or house calls, like just wellness checks to make sure you're okay. Cause you've just hermited yourself. Too much purple. Watch out. Self-destructive town coming. I mean, this is like You might be making a lot of bad choices with a lot of random people. You might be living it up, making sure that you never sit long enough to think about the choices that you're making. You keep the party going. That's too much purple. Too much yellow, very stuck in your mindset. That's kind of where I told you so yellow, that shade comes in. Sometimes when you're too much yellow, it's like somebody can say, hey, this party was actually, I felt this way when I went to the party with you. No, you didn't. You felt this way because I did this and this. So it was great. You felt this way. When you can't deal with other people's perspectives, you can only deal with what you think is logical and correct. Too much green, very shut down, a lot of walls. These are people that kind of, green, when you're wearing too much green, you can have a tendency to kind of ghost people a bit. It's hard to connect with your feelings. You can feel really numb and you can get really fixated on something else. Like maybe it's work or maybe it's a hobby that you enjoy, or maybe it's something that you use just to dive into so you don't have to feel the other parts of your energy, which are usually kind of more the emotional sides of things. Too much turquoise, you have no idea who you are. And you might even start taking up things that other people are passionate about and you think you are too, only to all of a sudden be like, oh, I don't like that. And then, well, who am I? Like, what's going on? Like, you can feel as if you're being dropped into a watery vessel and you just take on whatever shape is around you. Too much pink, it's like the joy bubble is just a little bit too joyful. This is when I see people on TikTok who are like, I have a pink car and a pink, those people, I love those videos and I enjoy them so much, but that there's no talking to them, So when people are too pink, it's like you're knocking on that door, and unless you're coming in with exactly what they want to hear, you're not allowed in. So they're very stubborn about where they're at to a fault. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you're wearing too much, and that's what it feels like when you're wearing too much. So sometimes I'll see rips and tears in the aura. This is when one color, usually one energy that you're trying to push away, is ripping through the other one. This can feel like you're being pulled with extreme parts of your personality. I'll tell you, the way I normally see it is if you're some color in purple. It's like any color. Purple. Purple has a tendency to rip through. So I'll see someone's aura and it'll look like just rips or fissures or like lava flows. It'll be really beautiful, but kind of violent looking. And this is when I'm like, oh, what's going on at this time in your life? Because this is when you're getting impulsive. What's happening is you probably pushed that purple down for so long, which is the part of you that's like creative. And, when you're pushing purple away, that's because society, you've associated that purple energy with being kind of like a screw up or judged or somebody who doesn't make correct decisions, or you're all over the place, or not accepted. And so then what happens is you push it away long enough and then it just burns through your aura, and then it will it's purple bomb city. That's kind of what happens when that happens. But I'll see rips and tears in other colors too. Like if your red's ripping through, that can be just all of a sudden you can just get bouts of rage or 0 to 60. This is kind of, not to pick on guys, but I'll see this with guys a lot. They hold their tongue. They don't say anything. They take it. You're like, oh my God, does he have opinions? Is he okay? And then all of a sudden they're like, roar. And it's like, whoa, dude, that was scary. We're all scared now. Where'd that come from? You made us uncomfortable like that. I don't usually see rips and tears in blue. I have to say that doesn't really usually happen, but because in indigo too, it's just kind of there. Purple, I'll see rips and tears. Yellow will come through in rips and tears, when you're not paying attention to it. So if you're authentic, let's say you're blue and yellow, right? And you're authentically, but your blue's too much or something, and then the yellow's trying to come through and it starts ripping and tearing and stuff. This is when the yell no's start happening, and your blue, which has probably been ego hijacked, can tell you, oh, you're so selfish, or oh my gosh, you don't want people messing up the kitchen you just cleaned. Wow, you're a mean mother. Or wow, you don't want to hear so-and-so's story about the 30th guy that it didn't work out with while you're trying to eat your lunch in the break room. You're so mean. You start getting more decisive when you have rips and tears in a yellow way, and it comes out of nowhere. It's kind of like the yell no out of nowhere kind of thing. Like, nope, I'm done. And because you're not dealing with it, it can kind of vacillate back and forth. So it's not like a consistent thing. It's more of a sporadic, I come to Jesus moment. Thank you, yellow. All right. Yeah, sometimes I'll see rips and tears with green. This is like you've been pushing your innovative, if you're green naturally and you've been pushing away your innovative thought, or you've been in some sort of job where you got really mundane tasks going on and you're bored and you're not feeling challenged, all of a sudden the green will come through. And this is when I see people are like, hey, I sold everything and I live an RV life now. Or, hey, I'm a wanderer. I'll see like them just start. I mean, green people can do the wandering thing and they make it look good. Like they just, where are they this week? You know, they just kind of travel all over doing their thing, picking up odd jobs where they can to get by. I'll see this with people who all of a sudden they quit their job and they're like, all right, I started my own, I don't know, green person business, whatever that is. And it's something like, whoa, that was kind of, all right. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, you know, so that's that. Oh, I will see rips and tears with turquoise. This is when people are dabbling in kind of the spiritual stuff. Sometimes, and this is interesting, sometimes I'll see turquoise come through even if you're not turquoise, if you're dabbling in the spiritual stuff. So this is any color combination, and all of a sudden you've been taking like Reiki classes a lot, or you got really into aromatherapy, or you're really into acupuncture, you want to learn more about it. Sometimes, and I'll see like, oh my gosh, there's like this turquoise like snaking through your aura, kind of ripping and tearing and moving things around. That actually never feels negative, I have to say. That's more kind of, okay, you're just letting something else in for a minute and see where it can absorb, and where it can ruminate, and where you can take what you need and then like say goodbye to what you don't. Pink, it's kind of the same thing as purple. I'll see pink ripping and tearing through. The same way I'll see purple, like if you're, and I'll see this too, if you were pink as a kid and you've repressed it for years and years and years and years, and then all of a sudden, because you're doing a lot of spiritual stuff, or you're getting close to yourself, you're starting to be mindful or validate or go to therapy or whatever it is that's awakening you to who you actually are, I'll see the pink start ripping through. And then all of a sudden you're getting a lot of stuff from your childhood that you thought you repressed. And you're also really fighting the urge, and you really shouldn't fight it, but you're fighting the urge to kind of do pink people things, which might just be get excited about something or go play, or, you know, how it works with adults is, you know, I bought this, I don't know, I started to get into makeup, or I really got into my Disney planning, or I don't know, me and my niece were like super psyched about, I don't know, playing this game or whatever. So you kind of, and I'll see from a lifetime of repressing the pink, all of a sudden, oh, am I being immature? Am I crazy? Do I look, I know what this looks like. Am I nuts? Am I losing it? No, the pink's just coming through. And if you repressed it as a child, it didn't have a chance to mature into your teenage years, you know, your adolescence and your, in whatever, your 20s or your 30s or wherever you're at. Didn't have time to like mature. So you kind of pick it up where you left it off. And a good example of this is I interviewed on an episode a while back, Dylan Mulvaney, and she's a TikTok star and she's a trans woman. And she kind of like started her, you know, she does her series. What was it called? Oh my God, Day in the Life of a Girl, something like that. I messed it up and I'm sorry, but I follow it too. I just can't remember. But anyways, she started kind of like when she transitioned, all of a sudden she started at like 6 years old pink. Like all of a sudden it's like, okay, she's really into cute. And I see her now maturing, and she even knew that was going to happen. Like her pink starting to mature, like with the fashion or like whatever. And so that's just what's going to happen to all of us. If you're pink as a kid and all of a sudden you get it back, you might get 6-year-old pink first. And you're like, this is odd and uncomfortable, but you just got to embrace it. Just got to embrace it and then let it run its course. So it's not always a bad thing to have a rip or tear. Depending on what aura color it is, it can, like red versus pink, like It just depends where you're at and who's around you. But and this is like a big thing, paying attention to it and understanding that you're okay is going to help you process this all better. And speed up the process of like, okay, what's going on? Okay, I feel like my pink's coming back. I just got to embrace it. All right, I'm not going to fight it. Inauthentic colors, I've done episodes about this, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But inauthentic colors is what I see people wear, colors that aren't yours, energy colors that aren't yours, when you feel like you can't survive life the way that you are. And this feels exhausting. It takes a lot of energy to wear an inauthentic color. You are constantly feeling like you're wearing a mask, like you're playing in a play, and they're all, your imposter syndrome is huge. Like everyone's going to figure it out soon that you're just faking it. The more spiritually close you get to yourself, it's harder to wear the inauthentic color, but you're still trying really hard to do it. So you can feel numb, detached, depressed, stuck. You can feel like you just want to like run away from your life. So inauthentic colors are draining and stressful to wear. And yeah, I've done a lot of episodes on that, so I won't stay on too long, but that's what they feel like. Now, if you borrow a color, so I'll say this sometimes, like, okay, you're yellow and purple, but you borrow blue. This is you wear it for a short amount of time for a limited project. Okay. So let's say you're yellow, purple, and I'm like, I feel like you're borrowing blue though. I'll see it on there, and it always works out. Oh, well, yeah, I've been, taking care of my nephew or whatever. Or I got this new responsibility at work where I'm, at the reception desk and I have all these people with all their issues coming to me all the time. So you borrow it kind of for a limited job or project. I'll see people borrow yellow a lot. I feel like I do that every once in a while. Like all of a sudden you're like, all right, get my game face on, put my yellow on, let's do it. Let's organize this house. I'll see like a lot of pregnant women do that who are in their nesting phase. They're not yellow. They'll borrow it, and they'll have this like amazing care all of a sudden about the organization of their diaper changing station, and it goes away, but it's there for a little bit. So borrowing a color isn't really bad at all, and I don't feel like it's really detrimental to you. And usually even if you don't know what the colors are, you're like, all right, I just got to do it. It's like I got to power through. So it's that kind of vibe. Shielding. Okay. Sometimes I'll see people use a color to shield themselves. You probably don't even know that you're doing it, but you are. And it depends. So this happens a lot with people who are, like if let's say you're red naturally, let's say red, blue naturally, you might just use extra red to shield yourself from a person or situation that you're uncomfortable around. What I'll really see, this is when it gets kind of sad, is people give me pictures of themselves and then, in readings, and they'll give me pictures of them with like family members or exes or something like that. And it's like, man, when you're around your family, it's like you wear red or you wear yellow. Usually they'll wear red or yellow or sometimes blue, depending on how they need to protect themselves in that family situation or in whatever dynamic that is. And you're doing it. Like as you're driving to the Thanksgiving party or whatever, and you're like, okay, time to do it. Time to fortify myself. And what you're really doing is you're taking one of those aura colors and you're kind of making a suit of armor for yourself around it. Like if you're shielding with blue, you're like, anything they say, I'm just going to smile. Anything they want me to be, this version, I know who they want me to be. I know who they need me to be. I'll just do that. This person needs to feel this way about themselves. This person needs to feel that way about themselves. I'll accommodate that. It's an aware, it's kind of like an aware preparation, just like putting on a suit of armor. Maybe you go into a situation that you aren't normally, like, let's say you're blue and purple and you're going into a situation where there's a lot of abuse or violence or something that you feel like you have to go to anyways. You put on the red. Okay. No one's going to talk to me this way. And you got your face on and your vibe set and you feel really unapproachable. So these are ways I see people shielding. It's really sad when I see you have to do that around family members, but it's a reality and a lot of you are doing it. I will see people wearing a color, and honestly, it's like a compliment. So I'll see a lot of married people wearing their spouse's color. And it's actually just very sweet. So wearing another aura color that's not yours is kind of like an awareness and using a different aura color for a purpose. So it's just kind of like, all right, I wear my husband's green because I'm married to him and, I know how he thinks. So I'm just going to put that through my wearing green filter to understand what his needs are versus my own. Like, that you are processing things about other people, the way that they process it, separate from your own processing. And I will see this in, honestly, just people that live together. That seems to happen a lot. And in families too, that can happen. Okay. I hope this made sense, some vocab, and think about ways that you might be doing this next time you kind of feel yourself altering your behavior or altering your energy or psyching yourself up or pumping yourself up. You got the interview. You're like, okay, what do I got to do? Or you got a date or you're going out with the girls or whatever. Like, what are you doing to your energy right now? Are you wearing it? Are you borrowing it? Is it inauthentic? Is this stressful to you? Is this something that you're mindful of? What are you holding back that you kind of want to come through? Where are the feelings of guilt coming in too? If you have a thought or a feeling, don't ever feel guilty about it. It's best just to feel it and look at it and be like, what's that about? You might need to sit on it, but at least say, what's that about? Not you're mean, you're judgmental, you're this, instead of being nasty to yourself, sit on it and think about it. Before I talk about some celebrity examples and Mystic Michaela spiritual family member examples of what I just talked about, I want to talk about mind bloom. The struggles we face with our own mental health can loom large over our lives. Maybe yours, maybe someone you loved. Perhaps you've tried everything, or have you? Mind Bloom is a solution for the next chapter in mental health and well-being. Mind Bloom is the leader in at-home ketamine therapy, offering a combination of science-backed medicine with clinician and guide support for people looking to improve their mental health and well-being. Mind Bloom connects patients to licensed psychiatric clinicians to help them achieve better outcomes with lower costs, greater convenience, and an artfully crafted experience. To begin, take Mind Bloom's online assessment and schedule a video consult with a licensed clinician to determine if Mind Bloom is right for you. If approved, you'll discuss your health history and goals for mental health treatment with your clinician to tailor your Mind Bloom regimen. Mind Bloom will send you a kit in the mail complete with medicine, treatment materials, and tips for getting the most out of your experience. After only 2 sessions, 87% of Mind Bloom clients reported improvements in depression and 85% reported improvements in anxiety. It's time to enter the next chapter in mental health and well-being. Let Mind Bloom help you. Right now, Mind Bloom is offering our listeners $100 off your first 6-session program when you sign up at mindbloom.com/KYA and use promo code KYA at checkout. Go to mindbloom.com/KYA, promo code KYA for $100 off your first 6-session program today. That's mindbloom.com/KYA, promo code KYA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right, I'm still a little shaken because, I was going to go with the snow globe.
Me too.
And now I have to come up with a whole new thing. This is going to take some time and energy. All right. So let's look at, you just gave your speech, and let's look at some celebrities. So let's take one that is borrowing, wears, and then inauthentic.
All right.
So for borrowing, I have Beyonce.
Yes.
All right. So explain how she borrows the colors.
Beyonce is so interesting. So she's always purple. Sometimes she's purple blue. And then sometimes she's purple red. So what I feel like happens is when she's in the midst of having to perform or having to, I guess, promote, or do the things that she has to do out in the public, she will put on red. She'll borrow it. And it's kind of like a shield on her. Now, it's not exactly inauthentic. It doesn't feel negative. It feels like she knows she's doing it. It also feels like super necessary for her as kind of a protection against. I mean, I can't even imagine the things she has to protect herself against when she's out there with her artistry, I mean, to be so creative like that, to be so creative and to put yourself out there in such a way that here's my heart on a platter world, and you have to do that over and over and over again. And people will they will take a knife and try to stab at it. And how are you such an artist over and over and over again, knowing that people are going to try to take the most vulnerable parts of you that you've just put out there for all of us to see, and so that we can relate to and love her music. But at the same time, there are people that are just awful to her. So I get with her, she has to put on this like armor, this red shield. And that's how she can that's how she can perform. That's how she can put her stuff out there. That's how she can deal with the trolls and the haters and the negative opinions. And then I'll see her sometimes wearing just the purple blue. And this is when I feel like she's just mom, and she's wife, and she's family. And so there's another part of her that definitely retreats so that she can get her, self back together and then go into the vulnerable places so she can do it all over again.
Okay. So she's a purple blue.
Yeah.
And then she borrows this
but
red thing.
it's different than inauthentic.
Which is not inauthentic.
And this is the whole thing, like, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think, and that's why I'm trying to explain it to everybody, like, it's a vibe. I don't feel like, and a big thing is awareness. If you know you're doing it, even if she doesn't know colors, like, I'm shielding with my red aura right now. She knows that she's probably buttoning herself up energetically to go do things. So that's what it feels like to me. It's on purpose.
Right. Okay.
It's like her strategy.
All right, that makes sense, and I think that clears up a lot of stuff for people.
Okay.
All right, so now let's do someone that wears.
Okay.
So wears the color.
Yeah.
So the person I selected was Kristen Bell. She's yellow, purple, and I've heard you say that she wears blue.
Yeah, so Kristen Bell, she's Dax Shepard's wife. She's the voice of Anna in Frozen, and probably she's in The Good Place. Like, a bunch of different
movies.
You know
whatever.
her,
right.
anyways. So she's yellow, purple, but I feel like what happens with her is, and this can happen with a lot of you yellow purples, being purple is an empath color. It's just that you don't always feel bad enough to alter your behavior. Like, just because you know what other people are thinking and feeling and judging or whatever they're needing or where they need to be healed, purple people have this ability to be like, yeah, I know, and then make a kind of a more cognizant choice whether to do something. They don't always alter their behaviors because they know other people need them to. All right. And that's a great thing about being purple. But what happens is purples then get purple shamed for it. You're not nice. You're selfish. You're da-da-da-da-da. So sometimes she wears blue. I'll see her sometimes wearing blue. Sometimes this is in the pictures with her family. I'll see her wearing blue. So I just feel like, and they seem like a nice couple and stuff. I just get maybe I think with a lot of his issues that they've been very open about, I feel like sometimes she's got to take a more caretaking role or step back a little bit and step into a more blue person role than maybe she is. It's not inauthentic. It's just something that she does. So it's kind of like wearing the color. What's interesting is she wrote this book.
Right, about purple.
Like,
something about, I get this. People like from time to time will message me like, they'll DM me like, have you seen this purple? I don't know what it's called, the purple people or something.
I should look it up.
The world needs purple people.
The world needs more purple people.
Which is very interesting then.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is her way. Again, we all know our colors. It's a third eye perception. Like, you know what your energy color is, even if you don't know it. But saying we all need purple people, I feel like this is her way of trying to validate herself. Like, I stand out. I can take up space. I can be me, and you all can too. So I feel like that book, and then she wrote a follow-up book, same thing, like Purple Classroom, something with school. I'm sorry, I messed that up, something like that. But anyways, I feel like that's her that's the energy message there. Be yourself, Kristen. I feel like she's saying that to herself. Like, I can be me, and I'm okay being exactly how I am, and I can go and want to be an actress and want to create and want to be an artist, and I'm still a good mom, and I'm still a good wife, and I'm still a good person. Because I feel like sometimes she'll wear blue because she feels like she has to for a little bit. Just to be good.
Okay.
So that's probably something.
But again, this is not inauthentic.
It doesn't feel inauthentic on her. It just feels like something she picks up and drops. But it does feel like there's issues when she picks it up and drops it or something.
Okay.
As we all have, because it's life. And none of us are perfect, So sometimes we do pick up we'll wear a color for a little bit or borrow it or whatever.
Okay. All right, and the last one I selected was someone obviously been in the news lately with the passing of the Queen, who was wearing an inauthentic color.
Yes.
King Charles.
King Charles. I did a TikTok about this because it's so fascinating. So you can go check that out, The Mystic Michaela on TikTok. Yeah, King Charles, okay. Before she died, he was purple blue with inauthentic green around him. And I looked at pictures of him when he was a little kid, and he's purple blue, sensitive, sweet, playful, like really sensitive, okay? What happened was that just wasn't going to work for, he's the future king. So we don't act this way. This is how we act. This is your decorum. This is what you have to be. This is the vibe you have to fit into and step into. And he would wear this inauthentic green, and he wore it all the time.
Can I just okay. So the Queen was green blue.
Yes.
And you're saying he's wearing this inauthentic green.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, if the Queen was yellow, let's say she was a yellow blue, would he have then been wearing? Would the inauthentic color have been yellow, or it still would have been green?
That's a good question. I feel like that position in of itself is kind of calls for green energy. I have to say that. And William's green, naturally, Charles's son.
And again, I don't. If I'm putting you on the spot, I apologize. Is the Queen? Was she?
She's authentically green blue. Yeah, because I would look at pictures of her as a kid. She wasn't even set up to be a monarch. That kind of happened to her. Okay. Because her uncle was supposed to be king, and his kids were supposed to be next in line.
So it's still possible if she was yellow. Like if the Queen was yellow blue, he could have been green. It's interesting. Inauthentic. I'm really just curious.
And I am too.
Yeah.
I'd love to, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like part of it is that's how the monarchy is set up.
It's set up for that.
Is for that color, plus mom's that color.
Right.
So it might have been even easier to step into
just
both.
To go into that green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he had an example of what that looks like, and he's blue and he's very absorbent, so he can absorb into like mom's vibe.
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
totally.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Like, because blues can be kind of, good mimics of things. So I'm just going to absorb mom's vibe, and I'm going to absorb the duties vibe and this obligations vibe, and it all seems to be green. So, but the difference, when you wear an inauthentic color, you don't know it's not you.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like he thinks that's him. So it's like he's convinced himself that's him. But here's the deal. Ever since she died, I don't see it around him anymore. And he's back to just like purple blue. And he's had all these in the public eye faux pas, and it's all, he can't handle pens, okay? Like,
yeah, I noticed that.
He cannot deal, like he's got issues. He's got like maybe some sensory stuff going on. Like the ink's on my fingers. I just, like he's freaking out like a little kid.
So has he like kind of went back to this childlike state?
Yeah, he's like 8 years old, purple blue, but and that's so indicative when nobody teaches you how to cope with who you actually are.
Right.
And then and then instead you just get thrown, you wear other color, like you wear inauthentic colors to accommodate for it because you feel like that's the only way you can survive. This is all subconscious, obviously. And then all of a sudden, like life happens and it just shatters. And he doesn't have the energy to hold up that inauthentic color anymore. Now he's back to kind of like 8-year-old Charles, where nobody said like, hey, you have a feeling. The pen's upsetting you, right? You're frustrated? Okay. How else could we talk about this? Like he was never talked to that way. It was just like, stop it, or we won't love you, or something. So I feel like, the weight of the country rests on you, like being a certain way or whatever. So I feel like we're watching that. And because of that, I feel sorry for him, because I feel like his mom dying, as all of us, you can't prepare for that. I don't care how old you are. His mom died. Like she was like a pillar, and I feel like it shook him. And this is a lot for him to deal with. And he's kind of back to 8-year-old Charles. Yeah. And I'm sure Camilla's got her hands full right now.
Yeah.
The queen, sure. I think she's a queen consort.
Now let me just put out the other angle here. Okay, so I am obviously no fan of the royals. People that listen to the podcast know this.
I know.
I don't feel that anyone is above anyone else.
Right.
So, the idea of like royalty and monarchs to me is all nonsense.
Yeah, it's like terrible history.
Terrible history and all that stuff. All right. But putting that aside and just looking at him as a person, I can see like if people are not going this deep as we are, and our listeners who listen to this podcast are really go deep, and they like to learn, know what makes this tick, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at just on the, let's say, the surface.
Yes.
You're going to think this guy is the biggest jerk on the planet.
Oh, you can totally look at that way.
Because, there he is with the pen or whatever it was. And
the way he talks to people.
He's talking to people like he's like I don't even, would you call him entitled old man or something, right? You'd say. But maybe there's more to that is what you're saying.
Two things can be true.
Yeah.
You can be a wounded person with a troubled inner child who's mourning your mother and an entitled old man. You can be two things whose whole life is built on the backs of centuries and centuries and centuries of mistreatment of people. Like two things can be true.
Right.
And so I think it depends which way you want to look at it. But he lost his green, and that's interesting to me.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was one of the TikToks that you made on it went like, I don't know, we call it viral or whatever, and I was just noticing like the comments were half and half. Like some were like, we understand this. Oh, I feel that he is bringing back that purple, blue, whatever. And then the other half were like, he's just brown. His aura is brown. He's got a brown aura. So
I know.
It's like
it's hard for me. That's why I always go to somebody's picture as a kid.
Yeah,
always, because that's how spirit looks at you. That is how spirit looks at you, and you can use the word spirit. You can replace it whatever you want, God, whatever you want to replace it with. That is how you are looked at. And if you look at somebody when they're a child, it's harder to be like, "Ew, what a jerk!" And like, it's just a kid, it's a baby, So that's why I always go to that, and I try to start from there to try to be like, what's going on here? Because at the end of the day, everybody's people. They're just people.
Yeah.
But like I said, two things can be true. Also, the way he was talking to people who are supposed to be helping him, like his servants. What are they called? I don't know. The people that help.
I guess servants.
I guess the people that help him.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. Like who talks to people like that? Like he obviously thinks it's okay to because his whole life that was what. But I don't think his mom did that. But anyways.
All right. Well, let's just keep going here.
Yeah.
So from time to time on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family page, we put up kind of giveaways, if you do a review of the podcast or you do a review of the book or something. And then, because we get so many requests, you get so many requests to read the colors, and obviously you can't do them all, but just to get some people, confirmed. It's obviously we know this to listen to the podcast, and your colors and they're confirmed. Even though you could do it yourself, you do feel a little bit better knowing like, hey, I'm purple blue or I'm red blue, whatever.
Yeah, it's fun to do it. Even though I'm trying to teach you all how to do it yourself, which you totally can. It is fun. It is fun.
So when we usually do this, we do a select amount of people, maybe 20, 25 people, because then you get you're tired and it's energy. But let's do some now on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because these people are far more important to us than King Charles and Beyonce and Kristen Bell. The listeners, I want them confirmed.
So because of this, you chose some MMSF members. And who do we have first?
Okay. So the first one I picked was Tiffany A. And she writes, I know I'm purple because I've been throwing bombs, purple bombs, but cannot figure out my other colors. I think it might be pink, yellow, blue, LOL, upside down face. She also writes, been dying to know. Thanks for all that you two do. Here's a baby photo as well.
Her baby photo is the most helpful thing. All right. So Tiffany, this is what I see. So in your baby photo, you're actually purple and yellow, and it's very clear and bright and confident. And I mean, just the sweetest little thing. And then in your picture now, the purple's like really, really big. The yellow is like, help me. Like it's trying to come through like, help me. And so it's kind of, when I was talking about, I guess, tears, like it's kind of cracking through a little bit, like it's trying to come in. And I do see on top of all that, you'll wear blue sometimes. So I feel like you might get so overwhelmed with your purple that you kind of wear a little bit of blue. It's a little inauthentic, but I feel like you're doing it. And this is when you feel like not confident in yourself or whatever. And really what has to happen is you got to let the yellow in, because the yellow wants to come in and structure it and tell you what to do. You just have to trust yourself. You got to trust that you know best.
All right. So, and that makes sense as you put all those colors down, right? Because of all that.
The yellow really wants to come through. It's just that the purple kind of got ego hijacked and shut it out, Which is what I just talked about that. Like when your one color is too much, like it's too much purple.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tiffany. And if you're listening, we want to know what those purple bombs are. So go onto the page and tell us one of those purple bombs.
We love a purple bomb story.
All right.
All right, who's
next? That
next?
deserves 3 Jumanjis. Jumanji. I haven't said Jumanji in about 3 episodes.
Whoa.
We've lost a lot of listeners. Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
The numbers are going down, so I got to say Jumanji more.
You have to.
It's the only way to keep the numbers high.
I
All
know.
right. Evelyn C. writes, help. I can't figure out my colors. Smiley face. I connect with blue, indigo, turquoise, and yellow all so much. So basically, she thinks she's all the colors.
She's like, I'm everything.
She didn't put red. Okay, she didn't put red.
Well, okay, so when I look at your picture, I see yellow, blue, but you're wearing green, which makes me wonder, like, who do you live with? Because I feel like, it's not even wearing, it's like borrowing. I feel like you're borrowing green to understand how somebody else that you're close to, it's probably a relationship or something that is thinking. And it could be a job too, because the green is so like on you, but it's not you. And then it's confusing you, but you're actually yellow, blue. And the blue is like deep. It's like blue to go.
Okay. And that's what's confusing her.
She's confused because I think she lives around and works in an environment that's like green. And so she's so used to absorbing into that mentality and that thinking and that mindset that she's losing sight of who she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be considered inauthentic, right? That's considered.
It's going down that lane a bit, but yeah. Right. It can get there, but with her, it's not. It's just borrowing it. She's wearing it. It's confusing her.
All right, Evelyn, we're going to make sure that
Yellow,
you do not become inauthentic.
Blue to go.
All right.
She's good.
So
it's okay to have it. Inauthentic color doesn't mean you're inauthentic, like you're fake or something. Because you've said that a couple times this episode. So I just have to say, hang on, this is probably a good thing to reiterate. If you're wearing an inauthentic color, it doesn't mean you're fake or like a poser or something like that, because fake people it just means you're wearing an inauthentic color, meaning not authentic to you.
Okay. All right. Next one we have is Geraldine C. And she writes, I would love to have my aura colors red. Please pick me.
All right. So, and she gave me a kid picture of herself as well. And I love this picture. She is purple. She's purple blue as a kid. Right now, she has like a red kind of shield on her. So it's kind of like I was talking about Beyonce a little bit. I feel like what Geraldine, you do is you're so intuitive. You're so good at picking stuff up. It's hard to be vulnerable. Like as a kid in her kid picture, she's so vulnerable. Like, hey, let's play. Let's do it. Like whatever, blah, 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 blah. Like really friendly. And she still is that way. It's just life comes and you get disappointed a lot in a lot of different situations. And you realize that not everybody's as nice, and they can hurt you. So I feel like she got used to kind of putting up her red shield a little bit when she goes and does things. It's not there all the time. And I feel like she could even be aware of it. So, but yeah, purple, blue.
Okay. All right. We got one more. Alicia Z.
Alicia Z, she's turquoise because she looks like, and turquoise people are interesting, especially when they're like Alicia Z. So when I look at her, I see turquoise and I see yellow. And her turquoise is kind of wavy and interesting. So I feel like she might be absorbing a lot of different things right now. But she's got such a calm, demure demeanor. I love it. But she's organized too. So I get that kind of yellow trying to come in. So yeah, she's turquoise yellow.
Turquoise yellow. Mm-hmm. All right. So there are some of our listeners. I didn't want to tell you this, but while you were doing those readings, I was actually on the phone with that restaurant that we went to yesterday. And I made a reservation. And this time I'm going to tell them that I've been there before. So I want to see if they still give me the dessert because of, my influencing that I do on TikTok and Instagram and all those things.
You're so complimentary towards influencers. Like, you really respect that as a profession.
I truly do. I feel influencers are the greatest people of our time.
Right.
They're
You love
trend
celebrities.
setters.
You enjoy award shows.
I love all that stuff. You know me. I mean, it's my favorite thing to see what
You love influencer selfies.
Yeah.
You're really into, what is it, like... all the concerts they go to.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, at Coachella.
Yeah.
I'm huge.
You love it.
Overtime, by the way. Overtime.
Overtime.
Yes, I'm huge into Coachella. I love to see the fashion of Coachella.
You feel like it's really important for people to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love the videos where, you know, they have someone and they like repeat the voice, but it's not their voice.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like when they're...
I think you've made me do one of these once.
On TikTok? Those are just trends.
Oh, those aren't influencers?
Okay. You should learn a little bit more. Sometimes it's just a sound, and then everybody does it. You jump to a whole different thing.
It was funny because the other day...
It was good, and now we just... Okay, moving on.
Yeah, no, it was funny the other day because I was telling you how much I hate... Actually, I do really hate influencers.
Right, yes. You're like, actually, I can't even be satirical anymore.
I can't even...
I hate them all.
I can't even keep it in. And I was telling you, like, I don't understand because, like, you see, like, an influencer... And they'd be on this, like, fabulous trip.
Is this a red rant?
Yeah, this is a red rant. I haven't done a red rant in a while. I haven't said Jumanji in a while.
All right, it's overtime.
You know, we had a couple. We had a couple heavy episodes. So I'm kind of light in the mood here.
Okay.
So, you know, you see them, like, on this fabulous trip, and they're staying at, like, a 10-star hotel, you know, eating, like, $1,000 meals or what you think is $1,000 meals or whatever. You know, it's not even real, by the way. Okay. So, but anyway, and then you see, like, you know, people liking it and commenting on it, like, oh, that's wonderful, that's great, blah, 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 blah. And you even told me, like, nobody does that anymore. Like, that's, like, so, like, out.
Yeah.
Like, that type of influencing is out.
You've been complaining about that type of influencing. It's super 2019. Like, nobody...
Does that anymore?
I mean, they do, but
it's out.
But, like, the TikTok influencer is in now.
Okay.
Not, like, that. Like, where they take a bunch of pictures at the resort or whatever.
Okay. That influencer is out.
I'm in Mallorca and my yacht. Like, that's, like... They don't really do that anymore. Now it's kind of more the TikTok influencer. It's different.
Okay, so if you're doing that still, you're really an influencer that hasn't got the memo?
You got to stop complaining about that because it's over. Like, everybody also has the same complaint and they've moved on.
Okay. Because, like, for a time, everyone was, like really liking that influencer. And I couldn't understand why. Because, I'm like...
They don't understand why either. That's why they moved on.
Yeah, because if you don't like it, then they can't go on that trip. And then they actually have to do something good for society.
Okay.
You know?
This is the 2019 Red Rant.
Okay.
So what you have to do is you got to catch up on the new influencers so you can get an updated Red Rant.
Okay. Well, I don't even know where to find them.
You got to go on TikTok and you just got to see who's the new influencer.
I have a secret TikTok account.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually up to 8 followers.
Oh.
8 or 9. I could have 9, and I follow like 4 people.
You start a new TikTok account like every couple months, thinking that you'll go viral and like teach people
a lesson
about how
stupid TikTok is,
like social media is, and other people's approval and stuff.
I know.
But then nobody ever follows you, and then you let it go.
I do it for myself. Okay, I do it for the inner, peace that it gives me. Actually, I forgot to do it for a few days, so I think I lost the bet. We had a bet that I was going to do. I said I would do it for 30 days straight.
Yeah. And
I think I missed like a day or two.
Yeah, you're on day 2 of missing it.
Yeah, so now I have to erase that account and start again.
Okay. On that note, this podcast is for you and about you, and we're so glad you spent some time with us today.